Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is D Smitty Gaming, and today we're going to be checking out Surviving Ceres. I put about an hour of gameplay into this, just trying to figure out how it plays and everything. So far, pretty good game, but we're going to start a new game. One of the things I am going to bump is going to be the air drain speed. That was one of the things that was really going against me. Never got to the alien attack. Really, the air drain was the only thing that I could complain about it. Starting out, you get to put together your payload. I was looking to see if there's an option to put oxygen into your payload, but it doesn't look like there is. We'll put a few MREs in here, some purified water, brings us up to 20,000 of our 30,000, our 30 million funding. Oxygen unit, actually we will pop that on there. That puts us over top of our funding, so we will have to drop a little bit off over here. Food didn't seem to be that big of a deal, so we'll drop that off and go ahead and launch with that. Alright, start off inside of our rocket. Go ahead and basically grab everything. Move a few things to our hotbar. There's things we're going to need right off the bat. Not going to need the straight hallway. We will need the workshop. We'll need the oxygen unit. Move our oxygen bottles. We only have 2. We'll move those there. Food, water, and go ahead and break out the data pad. Take a quick look at the data pad. Gives us our overall briefing and how to do a few things. If you want, feel free to pause and look over that. Alright, and that's just added weight that we don't need to carry around right now. Straight connector, I don't think I'm going to take that with us either. So, oh, we are overweight. How much? We should be able to get that taken care of fairly quick. Actually, let's go ahead and drop off something. Just so we're not overweight, we'll drop off the workshop for a minute. We'll fix our weight issue here in just a minute. If I can run the correct direction. Go over here. Gain a level. We're going to get a little bit of iron ore. We're overweight again. Quite a bit overweight. Go in here. We can go to our weight. Use the level that we just got. Put it into there. That way we're not over encumbered. Switch these out real quick. We'll come back for that. But we need to get over here and get the base started. I'm actually going to go a little bit further to the right over there on that flat spot. As you see at the bottom of the screen, we've got health, air, food, water, stamina, and weight. Stamina does run out pretty quick, but it also regenerates pretty quick. Our air right now only refills when we're inside of the rocket. And there's one of the hostile aliens. Going through the tablet, they're not hostile right now. I think it's when we start the terraforming process that they become hostile. So I'm going to set our base up right here near these 3 nodes. We've got iron, ice, and copper. We're going to go with the hub first. have to put a door on it. We can go in. There we go. That was an issue I had in my first playthrough just checking out the game. I'll look at my inventory because I need the workshop. Go ahead and set the workshop there. And we'll put the command center right there. We are going to have to move a little quick right now. This is the basic constructor. We can throw our materials in here and start building this other stuff. So next we want the wireless power station because that allows us to power things on and off. We'll also need machine constructors. That's 25 iron ore, 50 iron ore. So we'll run back. Probably end up with close to 100 iron ore. Because as you see, no power, so we're not making any oxygen. Well, we've got iron right here. Another level gained. Need to 75. We're going to get a little bit more. And there's the outside of our base. We'll look at the research station or command center a little bit more in depth here in a minute. Right now I just have to get the base up and running. Tool and power, I'm pretty sure that was the one we need. So we need another 25. Drop that back into our inventory. There's not shared inventory in this. That is one thing I would really hope that they would fix. That and the oxygen drain. Speaking of oxygen drain, we are going to have to run back to the rocket. I just saw our oxygen's down to 13, 12. Once it drops to 0, we'll start taking health damage at approximately 1 damage per second. So far I haven't seen any fall damage. We do have a flashlight, so when it gets dark, hopefully we will have power before night. There we go, we barely made it in time. So while we're here, we're going to go ahead and use one of our points, put it into our oxygen. Brings it up to 90. I'd like to put a little bit more in there, but for right now, we're not going to worry too much about it. We're going to hit that beacon right there on the way back over. Go ahead and eat an MRE. Water. Yeah, we'll go ahead and drink a water too. These are supply pods that have been dropped for us. And we'll go ahead and take the teleporter, 1-floor teleporter. I'm going to keep building the base off this side, so I don't want to put anything right there. On the other side of the hab here, I think I'm going to put that 1-floor teleporter just so we can go up to the top level. And then we'll put a door, that way we can actually get onto the roof fairly easy. It's not something I tried last time. Let's see. Okay, that's kind of cool. We can come off either side of it there. So let's go up, and right here should be. Well, at least we can see out. Okay, so we can't do how I was planning, because I want to go out that direction. So we'll save that for later. Got my keys confused there for a second. We do have to have the wireless power station. Let's go ahead and put that down here as number 2. Drop that back in our inventory. We need 25 copper ore. We also need 25 iron ore. So we've got that right there. Let's go ahead and get the upgraded pickaxe. We'll drop that one out of our inventory. And we've got to get copper ore. That's right outside the front door. Right here's our copper. When you're mining off the ground like this, you don't get any experience points. The big node that breaks initially, satisfactory style, you do get experience off of that. Drop that straight in here. Go ahead and craft 4. While that's going, I want to look at this because I want to see the ramp is 25 copper ore. So while that's working, let's get some more copper ore. That way we can pop a ramp, hopefully right here. Make it easier to get up on the roof. That way we can put down more solar panels. There's a level up. Run back outside and try and get this set up. Scroll the mouse wheel and you can change the angles. Not a big ramp, but enough of a ramp. Can we get up on this roof? Yes, we can. Okay. So we're going to set up our solar panels back here. Low on oxygen, just go ahead and use my oxygen bottle. I didn't want to, but I didn't feel like we had much of a choice there. So far I haven't seen batteries in the build inventory, so I don't know if the base stores power overnight or exactly how that works, but as you see we do have power, but nothing's set up for it yet. There is one more piece that we need. That might be why it's not showing. 50 iron. That's 25 iron. Run back outside and we'll get the iron that we need. There's ice. I'm not too worried about ice just yet. This is one of those moments where an auto clicker would be nice. Unfortunately, we have to have the wireless power station in order to actually put power to the base. We're going to go back here. Luckily, you can build from inside, so we do have power available. Flip that. Everything's online. Now we have light. And that is producing oxygen for us. So even though it's dark, we still have power. All right, let's go check out the research station now that we've got the immediate dangers taken care of. Down here you have your mission status. So base producing oxygen. We also need to build a rec room, a barracks, and a mess hall before we can start beginning colonization. Current funding, we've got 5 million. Salvage a supply beacon. I've accessed them, but I guess you have to destroy them or something to salvage them. place in any drill. We'll do that here in just a few minutes. Research any technology or upgrade. I'm not sure how to actually research. Then we have several more all the way down. I think my character's hungry. Yeah, we are hungry. Let's get a little bit of food. Over here, colonist management. Let's see. There we go. This is the screen to call in for a resupply. We can buy rockets. We can request passenger or cargo rockets. Right now we only have one available that's parked at Earth. There's the terraforming progression. We don't have any terraforming facilities set up yet. And there's our rocket management, which you can also do from most of the side screens in this room. For now, let's look at landing pad. We're not going to worry about that just yet. Let's get this row here taken care of. So craft one of those. And it won't let us craft another one until this one's done. But next I want to try and get the basic manufacturer. And we also need to run back outside and get quite a bit of copper. Iron dust and copper dust, so we have to set up the grinder to get that. Let's go ahead and set this up. Actually, let's see if we can make another hub. 50 iron, so we'll get that real quick. We need to set up the drills also. Oh, we need water. Need to drink a little bit of water. Okay. There's the grinder. I don't have parts yet, do I? That's iron bar, so we have to have the refinery first, which we've got. Somehow we ended up with two refineries, it looks like. Don't think we'll need both of them. I want to do a hub, then a refinery. Iron ore. Craft all. It'll take it a minute to do all that. This is the reason I wanted to do the hub first. Because you can add to the end of them, but I don't want the base to be extremely long. And then we can add the iron ore, copper ore, or ice in here to form these. I don't believe we'll get to the dealing with the aliens or the colonists in this episode. If it's something you all want to see, definitely put it in the comments below. Also like the video. I'm going to throw up quite a few solar panels here. That takes 50 iron ore. We only have 25. I do want the deconstruct tool. There's the deconstruct tool. Let's go check out this deconstruct tool, see if we can actually deconstruct one of these supply beacons. This is telling us that's one of our objectives, so let's try it out. Next we'll work on getting the basic farm and seed extractor set up so we can take care of our own food as well as our own water. That's just the liquid processor. There's also an item in there that will heal us. So that's empty. Okay, so we can't deconstruct that. I don't know how to salvage it. Alright, we'll figure that out later. There is another piece that I do want to go ahead and salvage because we're not using it right now. And then we'll come out here, we'll set down our extractors or our drills, get these all automated. Oh, that put us outside. Alright, and then we can put something else there. I'm going to go ahead and deconstruct that as well. Move that right in here. Can we interact with this? We cannot. So starting to get low on food in our inventory. Let's start working on building the farm. Iron bar and block of ice. So tools. Machine constructor. There's the iron drill, so we'll have to get our iron out of here. Don't have enough. Let's go ahead and put this in the refinery so it can start working. Craft all the bars that we can. Another level gained. Let's see how many we've got. So I want to keep working on our oxygen level. That way we can stay out a little bit longer when we're in the field. And we're actually going to go ahead and use that. I know where there's another supply beacon. We'll get everything out of it, come back to base, and start working on setting up our drills as well as our farm. If we get over encumbered before we get here, I'll drop off some of the stuff in the supply beacon. Anything that we don't need. There it is. At night you can actually see the light off this one from the rocket. And that does not over encumber us, so let's go ahead and head back. I think we'll be able to run up that slope right there. The other thing I noticed is you actually leave tracks on the ground. Not too many games do that. That's a interesting little add-on. A little bit of extra work that one of the programmers put into it. I picked this game up off of the Next Fest. It is currently an early access demo. Definitely something I'm going to keep track of. Keep an eye out on it and see where it goes. I think the game has potential. We should have some iron bars. It's probably going to over encumber us. Oh, no, we're not. Okay. That stuff isn't as heavy as I was thinking it was going to be. We've got 3 points. We're going to go ahead and have it craft 3 of them. There's another level up. Start working on our food and water. And we are overweight. Can't sprint when we're overweight. Can't jump. As you see, we move pretty slow. I think I placed the base a little bit too close. That's annoying. That makes things a little difficult. Okay, actually I think the problem isn't that the base is too close. I think the problem is we've got the wrong drills. I want the control panel this way. Alright, why are you offline? Start machine. There we go. So let the iron drill run. Again, we're overweight, so it's going to take us a minute to get back to the base. I can't get through the door right now because I'm overweight. Let's see, what happens if we drop something? Let's drop this. Okay, so it's just a little cube. Decomposes in 3 minutes. Not too worried about it decomposing. Let's see, there's the refinery, the farm. We need iron bars and blocks of ice. So let's make more iron bars and blocks of ice. Craft all, that'll lower our weight a little bit. Let's see if we can make a storage unit. Oh, we've got one in our inventory. Well, too late now, we can't cancel it. I didn't realize we had one in our inventory still. It's fine, it'll get used. We'll come down here, put our storage down here. Let's put that one there, that one there. We might end up putting another refinery in at some point. Put our data pads in there. Iron bars, blocks of ice. Let's see if this is done. There's some blocks of ice. Got some ice back. Have that thing start crafting some copper for us. And that's copper. We need iron bars. We don't have a parts constructor up here yet. That's iron bar. So we're going to need a lot of iron bar. Because I need to figure out how to make a copper drill and an ice drill. Those are items you can start off with. You can have them put in the supply drop. And instead of having rooms set up like this, as you see, we're having to run across our base just to get here and do some refining. I think it'd be better if they set these up as modules that you could place inside of your base. Don't have quite enough for the farm yet. Takes 100 ice. Let's go ahead. I can't make that either. Let's get more materials. You can also name your storages. So this is going to be resources. My caps lock is apparently on. Apparently that was a milestone to name a storage. This is going to be prefabs. So the money is nice, but we can't do anything with it at the moment. And I'm going to assume that when it's full, it'll automatically stop. Let's go make a bunch of iron bars. While that's working, we'll go and hand mine some ice. Let's go ahead and drink and eat real quick. I should have held off on that. I should have waited until after I've upgraded all this. Stamina runs out a little quick as well. So that's iron bar and blocks of ice. We don't have that many blocks of ice just yet. And I want to see what this parts constructor gets us. And we'll get the liquid processor as well. That way we can make our own water. Now this is the parts. Okay, so that is just a window. This is water. We'll put water over here. And there's the health tonic, increases our health. As you see, 25 iron, 25 copper. I don't know how that's supposed to heal you. And this one's water, takes 25 pieces of ice. We'll go ahead and make 4 of those. We'll probably just leave them in there for right now. So it is literally just parts. I'm wondering if it's the basic manufacturer that we have to get the other mines, the other miners. So grinder, copper bar, and iron bar. I need more copper. We'll be back for that in a minute. Iron bar, block of ice. So we need a little bit more ice. Let's go get that ice. Figure we're gonna come out here, we might as well go ahead and get 100. Get a full stack. The farm will put coming off that side. Okay, it's hitting something there, so it won't let us put it there. Basic farm station, irrigation offline. I don't know how we set up irrigation. Start machine. No irrigation. I have no clue how that works just yet. Let's see. Manual. No, that's manual save. It does have a cheat menu. It does knock you off the leaderboards and disables achievements. Basic farming. Okay, so you load it with ice. There we go. So it must be regular ice. Well, let's find out real quick. Not that we're doing a whole lot of anything else at the moment. Get a full stack of ice. Pop it in there. See what we get. Okay, it's regular ice. Blocked ice does not work. But we are farming. So come back up here. Put the grinder down. We do need dust. Iron dust, copper dust, and coal dust. We haven't found coal yet. So iron ore, copper ore, and this needs ice and copper. Okay, so we don't need actual coal. So I want to do basic manufacture. I need iron and copper dust. So that means I'm going to need iron and copper ore. Put those in there. We'll go and get a stack of copper. Go over here, get 100 ice. Now we got 100 of each of our 3 primary resources. Got the grinder right here, so let's put all 3 in. Actually, I want to keep the ice because I want to make more water. Make all the iron dust we can. Grab that. Switch those 2. Craft all the water we can. Move our water bottles down here. We actually had 8. Okay, so we didn't actually need to do that. I was stressing for nothing there. Food, water, there we go. We're going to throw that together real quick, and then I'll probably be wrapping it up. I just have to get the dust. That's copper dust and iron dust. It's got 48 seconds left. Let's go check on the farm. There we go. So we can turn off irrigation, which it turned itself off. And then there's one other item or machine we can build. It's called a cooker. I think it's in here. Food processor. Okay, so it takes 10 iron bars. I think I've got iron bars down here. Yep. Craft one. We're going to put the food processing over here. Baked potato takes 1 potato. So let's make 15 baked potatoes. That actually wasn't smart. I shouldn't have done that. I should have made seeds. So now we're going to have to find seeds. And I'm going to have a time limit on how long I have to do that. I'm sure there's seeds out in one of these supply drops around the world somewhere. We will go looking for those. Probably on our next playthrough, if this is something you'll like. I think I'm going to have to build a straight hallway, straight connector, 25 iron ore. 25 iron ore is easy. We just go right over here, click on one of those, click T. It's in our inventory. Then we can go here, move that over, craft one. Even though I don't think we'll actually need that now that I look at it. How much do we need? 20 and 20. Looks like this is only making 10 and 10. Yeah, it's only making 10 and 10. Go ahead and turn that machine off. No point in it sitting there just wasting money for us. Or not money, but power. That's going to take a minute. Let's take a walk real quick and see if we can find another one of those supply drops. Be easier to find them at night because the little beacon. Be easier to find them a little bit better at night because of the little beacon on them. But we're not going to go far from base unless we see one. Some sort of binocular would be nice in this too. I don't see any red flashes. Make sure it's 20 and 20 that we need. Yeah, 20 and 20. So there's our 15 potatoes. The refinery I'll worry about doing on our next playthrough. Actually, that's 5 and 5. We might actually have the resources nearby to do that. That's a copper bar. That's an iron bar. We can do that. So let's go ahead and throw that together. Craft one of those. That'll give us something to do while we're waiting on the rest of our iron over here. We'll put it right here. Fuel, it needs ice and coal. And apparently we make coal with copper and ice. So yeah, 5 ice and 5 copper ore makes 1 coal. So we'll work on that as well later. Craft one of those. We have another. Yeah, we'll go ahead and run off this end right here, just so it's close by. I might change the layout a little bit off camera. Like I said, if it's something that everybody wants to see more of, I'm all for playing more of this. It seems to be pretty good. This is our assembler. Tier 1 export. Okay, so this is just for exporting. As you see, yields 25 mil in funding. So, as I said, I'm going to wrap it up right there. Overall, just some thoughts on this. Pretty good game. I wish instead of these things being individual rooms of their own that you have to figure out how to lay out in the base, you could do them as just module units like this, where you could line this wall, have like your fuel up here, so you'd start, have a grinder and or storage, and then a grinder, maybe two grinders, then your refinery. But overall, interesting game. Control wise, I haven't noticed anything major or any kind of interaction bugs. Over here, dying of thirst. At least my character thinks so. The power consumption seems to be pretty easy to deal with. The roughest thing I had to deal with was in my first playthrough was the oxygen use or the air use, how quickly you tear through it. Now that I'm kind of have a feel for the game, I don't think it would be too bad. I may actually start over, do some grinding off camera and get back to roughly this point and go from there, but run it with normal, everything is normal. Because now that I know a little bit more about how to play it, what to build, how to build it, I don't think the oxygen drain is actually all that bad. Graphics, they look pretty good, pretty realistic. As I said, somebody took the time to actually program in leaving tracks, and they actually appear to change. There I'm walking backwards, you see two sets of tracks. I walk sideways, and it's still leaving two sets of tracks. So, but at times, like right there, you can see the tracks went single file. Just not something you see in a whole lot of games. The ones that you do, you'll see the tracks for a little bit, but there, I mean, we can't see the end of our tracks there just because the visibility drops off. Can't really knock a whole lot on this. Like I said, just a little bit of a rough start. Once I figured it out, it's not bad at all. Really can't wait to see where this game goes. Definitely something I'll probably be buying. I have not checked to see if the download is still available, if the demo is still up. As I said before, I picked this up during the Steam Next Fest. I'm definitely going to keep following it. It's going to get added to my wish list at the end of this recording. And once it releases, I'll most likely be buying it. I'd like to see some more updates done to the demo. But as I said, I'm going to wrap it up there. Make sure you like the video, especially if you want to see more of this. Subscribe to the channel and check that notification bell. That way you get notified when I put new content up. As always, I'll see you next time.